With regard to food shortage, yes, we did talk about.
Well, we're being told to expect an increase in prices and limited availability.
Food shortages.
It's a very serious problem, and it's a very serious problem all over the world.
Food prices in the U.S. soared to...
This morning, the U.S. and the world bracing for food shortage.
New tonight, a kitchen staples is getting more expensive, and in some places, it's becoming hard to find.
Egg prices have jumped.
And while several grocery store items have become more...
Okay, hold on here for 1 second. Globally, if food waste could be represented as its own country, it would be the third largest greenhouse gas emitter, behind China and the United States. The resources needed to produce the food that becomes lost or wasted has a carbon footprint of 3.3 billion tons of CO2. So we've all heard about the increase in food or possible food shortages, and people are possibly getting nervous about these things, and the amount of food that's wasted is a real thing, because there's certain foods that, you know, they'll be lost between harvest and getting to the supermarket, or they're just not eye appealing enough to make it to the supermarket, so they're looking like they're just getting tossed out. And here we have many people who aren't able to afford food, and there's even people that are on food stamps, large amount of people on food stamps. And either way, it seems to be affecting a lot of people buying this food that is basically all processed. It's all horrible food. Believe it or not, there's companies out there, right, that capitalize on this food waste. They'll go around basically pole dancing for other huge companies and ask them, hey, you don't want all this CO2 dispersed, why don't you make us some large donations, and then we can go ahead and get this food handed out to people who are starving or people who can't afford any food. And then these people, they're already going to be paying millions and millions or however much money to Uncle Sam to pay for taxes. They're like, oh, I'd rather just make a donation, and then I'll get my name on a big fancy plaque, and people will look at my company like I'm trying to change the world, blah, 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 right? Well, the thing is people have forgotten, and I don't know if they've forgotten or they've just become so lazy or entangled in their daily life of watching the news and going to work and trying to make money to buy food that's packaged and processed and genetically modified. But a lot of people have dirt right outside their house, and a lot of people have yards, way bigger yards than I do, and really all you need is that, and you can grow your own food. Now, some of the advantages of growing your own food on that dirt that's already in your backyard is that you will become much, much more healthy. Like if you're dealing with any sicknesses or anything like that, if you grow your food and eat that food, you'll heal yourself. Okay, Big Pharma wants to keep handing out these pills, and what you don't understand about that is you'll keep taking these pills, but if those pills actually worked, then Big Pharma would lose all of its customers and they would be out of business. So the thing is, all these talks about egg shortages and food shortages, if you came together in your community, however many people are in your neighborhood, or maybe you live out in the country and you're growing your own food, come together, and there's a big thing in the sky called a sun, and it puts off light. There's these things called seeds. You take these seeds, you stick them in the ground, and then when it rains, it waters them, and out of these seeds, you'll find a plant that produced whatever fruit or vegetable that was according to the seed. And if everyone did this, there would be an abundance of food and not as much waste. And if you did have waste, why don't we get some chickens? You can have some chickens. They're very easy to take care of. And you can give the food scraps to the chickens, and then you can have eggs, and you won't have to depend on a supermarket. You won't have to work as hard, and you'll be super healthy.